It's there! Holy moly, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Christmas has come a little bit early this year because there is a new update to the arcade that has just gone live, and I'll show you what's in there. I have held off on making a video about this. I've been kind of thinking about doing a video for the last few weeks because John has been previewing over at Desert Island Fruits all the things he's been working on, the new stuff that's been going into the arcade, and I've really been kind of wanting to talk about it in a video because it's so exciting, but I thought I'll hold off until it's actually live because John Parker has been saying over at Desert Island Fruits that he was really going to try and get this out before Christmas, and he has managed indeed 2 weeks before Christmas. So we're now at the state where rather than showing you things that will be coming in the next update, this update is now live. So all you need to do is launch Arcade Simulator right now and you will get this new version of the arcade. Now, if you remember, the kind of situation we were in, as fantastic as the arcade was, we were just getting a little bit limited by the handful of cabinets that we had, which in particular meant we were getting a lot of Scorpion 4 and Scorpion 5 machines, which was great to play. But we were kind of in that spot where it would be fab if we had a new cabinet in the arcade to allow some different generations of machines. And if we just poke our head out from... Oh, what's that? Look on the... Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? So there you go. Let's go round in the arcade. We now have a new Barcrest cabinet in there. You can see this was a cabinet that Barcrest used extensively in the MPU4 era. It was also used by Empire and BWB for rebuilds. And John Parker has come out swinging with a large number of new machines. So we'll just go from right to left here. That's a Barcrest, that's an Empire, a couple of Empires there, 3 Empires, 4 Empires. So those there, Bangers and Cash, Bank Raid, Haunted House and Hot Cash, they're all Empires. Then we've got Madhouse and Take Your Pick, Crystal Maze by Barcrest. We've then got The Gambler, that's another Empire, Viva España, Winner Takes All, of course, they are both Barcrests. And just coming around here, we have also got Monte Carlo, Barcrest, Viz, Barcrest, Bon Voyage, which is a BWB version of Viva España, Andy Capp, and Adders and Ladders. And some of you, the eagle-eyed amongst you, may have spotted these two fellas here because we have 2 new cabinets in the arcade. This is a Mazuma low-tech cabinet, and look at those beautiful, beautiful 3D models. We do now have 2 new low-techs in the arcade as well. So there is a load of stuff. This is kind of batch 1, if you will. John has been working really hard. I have been following the thread over at Desert Island Fruits. He's been putting a lot of work, an awful lot of work in over the last 2 months to get the arcade to this condition from where it was at the last update. Just because there's kind of, this is the thing, is with projects like this, any kind of big project, it kind of mirrors how things go for me at work sometimes with the projects I'm working on, is an awful lot of the work goes on invisibly under the surface. It's almost like an iceberg. If you think of the arcade here, this is like the tip of the iceberg. This is the bit that is visible above water, but that's kind of like the minority of the work. The huge amount of work and effort is the iceberg that's underneath the water. That's the tens and hundreds of hours that John has been putting into developing the simulator, getting these new cabinets built and modelled and into the arcade, and getting them all converted over. He's also been doing a lot of work on making the arcade more scalable. That is, as we get more and more unique machines into the arcade, obviously that's more and more artwork. And what he found was that the old model of building the arcade was going to be unsustainable. It would just get to a point where you wouldn't be able to, sort of realistically download it and get it onto your machine in a timely fashion and for it to be able to handle all the assets. So he's done a lot of rebuilding work, thinking forward to the future to make the arcade more scalable as we get more and more machines, more and more cabinets in here. On the cabinets as well, we do need to give a shout out to a guy called Spidey over at Desert Island Fruits. And indeed, you can actually see there John Parker giving Spidey a special thanks there for the 3D models that he has been building for the arcade. Which, for example, you can see from back in early November, Spidey has been modelling and rendering these cabs, and then John Parker has been porting those in and getting them ready for use in the arcade. You can see here what the early prototype looked like in the arcade. What I will do is I will link to this thread at the point in time of my previous video about the arcade, and then you can go through there's some 14 pages there since the last update that I did on this, and you can see the sheer amount of work that has been put into this by John Parker, by Spidey, by other people who have been helping, which gets us to this point here, which is, like I say, the tip of the iceberg. And it kind of chimes with me because some of the sort of projects that I work on, we get to a delivery phase, which may be we deploy some big new thing, maybe over a weekend or overnight or even in just a few hours sometimes, which is kind of the visible part. But there could have been weeks or months of planning and work and sort of foundation building that went into making that thing happen on that day in question. And it's important to remember here that the arcade is the same. What we see here is shiny new machines to play with in the arcade, which is brilliant. What we don't necessarily see is the huge amount of work that John has been putting in to make this happen and to get it all working. I mean, even though we're technically still a pre-alpha here, to get it all, you know, pretty much working straight out of the gate. He does say that we're probably going to find the odd gremlin here and there, which he would like feedback on, and then he'll fix them. You know, like the machine that I was playing, what was it, the cache explosion, I think it was, in the previous video, where a couple of the buttons weren't working. It was that cache exploded, yeah, where I couldn't take the game on that, for example. Fed that back to John and he fixed it. So, as ever, this supplied, it is technically still a pre-alpha, but it is in a very good working state, and you can see all of these new machines that we have to play. Shall we just put a couple of quid in something? We have still got the turbo boot option as well, so you can see that this will spin up. We've got here one that I'm not quite sure why we've gone with some of these stake and prize combos. Here, we're on 10p play £6 jackpot here, which is fine, great to play it. I've personally gone for 20p £6, but that's not the point here, really. And it's one of those where it has adjusted the pay table. You can see there that our wins start at 40p. Instead of a quid. And the one next to us here, this Bon Voyage, which is like a £5 5p play knockoff of Viva España. You can see there that the win table has been adjusted to account for that. The really bad ones are like where you get a 5p play machine and the lowest prize is like a quid. Oh, don't kill me. Oh, that's fine. They can get a bit painful. But where the pay table has been adjusted to account for the lowest stake, you can still get a decent game. Oh, now we're in danger here. We're in danger. Oh, look at that. Flows very close. Now, 14 nudges. That's not even going to... Oh, of course we haven't got draggable reels. I'm trying to drag the reels there. Of course we can't drag the reels yet. Let's go. Let's push it. Let's push it. Oh, it's a fucking collect prize. Oh, my God. You'd be annoyed with that, wouldn't you? I don't know. Would have that been a jackpot with 2 jackpots just under the reels there? I'm not entirely sure that should have been... that would have been a jackpot rather. Oh, going for the 3 holds. So the thing with having all these old MPU4 machines in the arcade is these now remind me of the kinds of machines that were... Let's just come out of that one. Let's play Adders and Ladders. This is a Serene DX, this one. These now remind me of the machines that were in arcades back when I spent a lot of time in arcades back in the early 1990s. Let's put a couple of quid in this one. So as fantastic as the arcade was before, it's even better now because it's really got that feel of the arcades of the early 90s when I was playing. And I'll just show you as well that there's a couple of graphical options that John has added in. He's working on adding some more exotic graphical options, one of which is in already, which looks really, really good. So we'll have a look at that as well. I think that's £3. I think that's a blue 7 up there, isn't it? The mysteries can get a little bit psychotic on this. Let's see how we do. Ooh, 3. We're into the token wins. Oh, no, 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 not snakebite, not snakebite. Rattler, that's okay. Because we can carry on, can't we, on a rattler? Yeah, there we are. Just need to avoid those snakes, avoid those It was 11 nudges. I'm not convinced that's a jackpot, though. What do you reckon? I can't see a red 7. We'll push it. We'll push it. Oh no. No, 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 no. Maybe I should have had me nudge pot there. We could just get a few tokens for that, isn't it? Yeah, 5 tokens, 5 free games, so that was slightly unfair. Oh, we go straight back in, though. Straight back in on the feature. Well, we have got a red 7 there that time. Straight up the ladder again. If I can get 14 nudges again, I'll probably collect it. 5 nudges. I'm 1, 2... Yeah. Could do me some draggable reels here. I don't know what's up there. Oh, and it wasn't on an even number. It was on a 9. That's probably... Oh, no, we got away with it. Thought that was going to kill... Oh, straight onto another fucking mystery. Oh, now then, this is... Now, if we're getting up, that's the jackpot. If we're getting over, we get an auto-collect on £4. Oh, shall we have a jackpot? Go on, we'll have a jackpot. How good does that look with the other machines in the arcade around you? So there we are. We did win. We won on that one. So we'll collect our £6 in tokens. And then we will move on from that machine. Well, that was okay, wasn't it? Got our £6. And then what else we've got? We've got a Pook DX there, a Viz. And then we've got some of the Empires over there. Got winner takes all. Again, rather mysterious on a £5 jackpot. Would be great if we could have the £6 20p token one at some point. Crystal Maze, we've got the £8 20p version, which is good. Take Your Pick, that's a great old one. Shall we have a go on? I've always had a soft spot for Take Your Pick. Shall we have a couple of quid on that? Getting a little bit spoilt for choice in the arcade now, aren't we? So let's have a couple of pounds on this. It was... Could be a little bit hard work to get a win on this one. That was the... That was always the slight issue with it. It was a little bit mean getting you up into the nudges when it wanted to be. Oh, there we are. That's not bad, though. Is that going to be £2? Yes, it is £2. Right, okay. We will certainly take that. That's that one there, isn't it? There we are. But hopefully it'll give us 2 or 3 keys. We have got a good number to gamble on. Come on, give us some keys. 1 key. 1 key. Go on, then. Oh, that's a bit of a crap one, isn't it? No. There we are. Come on. There we go. Probably conk out somewhere around here, won't it? Oh, this is one of those where I think even if you fill the whole thing up, isn't it only like £4 or £3 or something? Oh, there we are. 1-1. We filled the whole thing up. I've got it in my head. Is this £4 if you fill it all up? Or is it more than that? No. Oh, £4.20. What a bizarre amount. Well, that's as good as you can get off that, isn't it? £4.20. Straight in with a bonus again. Is it going to hold there? No, it isn't. So is that if this is an £8 jackpot, is that going to be £4.20 in tokens? That'd be, you'd be a bit narked by that on the real thing, wouldn't you? £4.20. Let's just see how it pays it out. Oh, bonus. Got a last bonus. Any chances? No. Let's see how that pays out. Yeah, I do believe it's given us £8 jackpot. If that's £8 tokens, then £4.20 would have had to. That would have been over the £4 cash threshold. So we would have been on £4.20 in tokens. Shall we have a quid? We've got a haunted house here. Let's have a go in one of the Empires. And what have we got? We've got a £5. This did exist on a £10 jackpot. I remember this being on a £10 jackpot. And we had some, oh, we're on 5p. We're on 5. I've just put £2 in there. So we're on 5p a go. Oh, we've got a win at least. So we've got, there we are. It has adjusted the pay table at least. So we can exchange him. It's a bit of a psychotic feature on this one. It really likes to kill you, this feature. And it did on the £10 jack. Whoa, fucking hell, that's it, innit? So that was a bit of a... So we got a fight, yeah, so 5p, £5 jackpot. But we do at least have an adjusted win. There we are. I thought that should be a win. Exchange over. Yeah, there was one of the operators here was a real tight bastard, and they had a lot of empires on like the big boy stake and prizes, like presented as, you know, new machines in the pub, whereas they tended in the UK to be more for the kind of rebuild market. They were more of an actual thing here. £1.60. I mean, that. Come on. Oh no, we hit the lose. Just one off the jackpot. Oh, I'd missed a hold there. Missed the hold on reel 2. Oh, it's playing quite nicely though, isn't it? Let's see if we've got a couple of quid. Let's see if we can get to the end of the trail off our £2. That could have me, you know. Yeah, there you are. So we're getting the feature a lot, but we're not doing very well off it. I think your secret... oh, you know what? Hold 2 isn't working there. There we are. That's the problem we've got. I didn't miss the hold. You see there. So, hold 2 isn't working on Haunted House. That's something we can feed back to John. And he did say in the thread over at Desert Island Fruits just to let him know if you find any issues. And they can go onto the known issues list for him to have a look at. So, we'll stop there. 8 nudges. I don't think... Oh, my word. Oh, just as well we stopped it there. Well, you'd have had us then. That's £2. That is £2, which on a £5 machine isn't. 2 boost. Oh, did you see that? It actually boosted me onto a lose. That's a bit skanky, isn't it? Really, to actually boost you onto a... oh, I'm going for the hold there. Yeah, so I can't hold reel 2. We can't hold or nudge reel 2. So we're going to get another feature. Let's go in. Just imagine it's like a real machine where one of the buttons doesn't work, which is not difficult to imagine, is it? Because that was a pretty common scenario. What are we on there? Feature. I can't actually, my old man eyes can't make that out on this laptop screen. Oh, we're still going. £1 win. Oh, God. In fairness, these empires did tend to work pretty well on these smaller stakes and prizes because they kind of knew that a lot of them would end up in the £5 market, so you can generally get a reasonable game off them. On the I can't actually nudge reel 2 there. Going for the hidden features. And what we'll do when we come out of this one, I will show you a couple of the graphical options that have been added in. One of them doesn't work quite so well, and John has said that he's going to make them more sort of tweakable and configurable going forward. I'll push that one there. Oh, that's a nice let him spin, isn't it? But one of them looks really nice. I haven't got it turned on at the moment, but I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we'll exchange in there. We will exchange in there. Ew, that's not a great start, is it? Don't you dare get me on the first throw. Skill, okay. We'll stop it there. Oh, for pity's sake. Not good. We'll play out our credits here. And then we'll just have a... What I'll do, I'll show you a couple of these new graphics options. Because if you've got a little bit of graphical horsepower in you, well, we got nothing off our £2 after all that, although I could have collected £2 back, couldn't I? So what I'll do now is just show you a couple of these new graphical options. Now, the one that I think is just a bit overdone at the minute is post-process. Depth of field, that's... Oh, I pressed the wrong bloody thing there. Sorry, that's my fault. I pressed the wrong button. Don't matter, we can go back in quickly. There will be, the first time you fire it up, there'll be an update process. It doesn't take too long. It has to initialize the new machines. Give it sort of, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, something like... There you are, that's the depth of field turned on. Now, if you're not familiar with what depth of field is, it kind of makes things a little bit blurry. Can you see there? Look at that machine on the wall. Cluedo Super Sleuth. As you get closer, it becomes clearer. And then the further away you get, can you see? It's a nice effect. And the machine closest to you still looks fine. So you see there, the ones behind you are a little bit blurry. It's a bit strong for me. And John, there is a screenshot over at Desert Island Fruits where John is trying to get sliders in for these. That's possibly a little bit over-egged for me. But the one that looks great, I think, is Bloom. Now, let me just turn Bloom on. Now, you can probably see it. Just keep an eye on these machines on the left-hand side here. You can see it whilst I've got the options on screen here. Can you see you get that nice kind of glow? That's on, and that's off. That's on, and that's off. Let's just turn it back on, and then go back into the arcade. And can you see there that we're now getting this glow? All the lamps are now giving us this glow effect. And what you get, if you combine that with... Where's... I've forgotten where blooming... Here it is. If you can... Let's play a machine like Big Bucks. And we've got the machine lights turned on as well. So let this one go into attract mode here. So can you see on all these machines around the arcade, we're getting that lovely glow effect. That's the Bloom. And now on Big Bucks, we've got the machine lights turned on as well as the Bloom. Can you see it gives it that warmer kind of glow? Now, if you... Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong fucking... Oh, no, that's fine. I've got to get into the settings. Now, we can turn depth of field on as well there. And let's just go back on... So you see there, with the depth of field as well, you get that blur effect as well, which makes things further away from you look blurred. You can... I don't know, actually, now that I'm stood in front of a machine looking at it, it's quite a nice effect, isn't it? I think on balance for me, I would probably, for now, I would probably turn depth of field off and I would have Bloom on, but you may prefer it in a different configuration. We do have these two low-techs here. Shall we just put a couple of quid in? Let's put a couple of quid in this one here. The Streak, this is another new cabinet that has been added to the arcade. See there, it's doing the turbo boot up again. We'll put a couple of quid in this one. Look at those lovely, lovely lamp effects there as well. All those nice reflections. Those hold buttons. Did you see? Let's just see if we can get a hold again there, because they looked... There, that looks nice as well, doesn't that? Really lovely, lovely glow effect. I mean, I'm not a huge low-tech fan myself, but I can see myself putting a few quid. Let's just have another pound. See if we can get a winner, a feature or something like that. No, unfortunately not. So we'll come out of that one. I just want to shoot. What have we got? Let's have a pound on Viz as well, shall we have? I do like that Bloom. I think I'm certainly sold on the Bloom. Not 100% on the depth of field. I'll have to play around with it a little bit more. See what I think. Now we've got... This is a Pook DX, this one, and this was how it was released. I'm not entirely sure if the 20p £6 ROMs have ever been around for this. We've got it on 10p £6 here, but as you can see, it's another one where the win table has been adjusted to reflect. So we'll have a... This never seemed to do that well, Viz. I do remember them being around, but there weren't a huge number of them in the arcades, and they were quite a rare sight in the pubs. 4 nudges, that's not... Maybe, can we get... So this is the thing, it goes from one side to the other there as well. And the various Viz characters can kill you and give you a bonus or whatever. You've got £3 at the top on... Oh, there we are! Oh, that looks absolutely lovely, doesn't it? So this is such a good update to the arcade. This is the thing that I was really waiting for, was to get a new cabinet or two, and specifically a cabinet that would allow us to get some of these older machines into the arcade. And we're at the sort of glory era of Barcrest, this £6 era that will take us through to £8 and £10, of course. Empire were rebuilding into these for quite a while as well. So you can see there, we've just had a look at 4 or 5 of the machines, but there are plenty more new machines to play, and all the other stuff that was already in the arcade is still there. So the roster of playable machines is getting bigger now, and the arcade, you can see the arcade is becoming more and more populated. We've got those nice baked in. Let's just turn that depth of field back on again. I've done a little warp. There we are. It does. Yeah, you see there. It's a little bit. That is a little bit on the strong side of the. But yeah, John has said that he'll be looking at doing some sort of sliders for these things, so you can adjust them. When you're actually in front of a machine, I think it looks quite nice where you get that blurred effect behind you, but it's perhaps a bit much when you're just going around like that. Do be aware, by the way, that some of these effects, the more of these effects that you start to turn on, the more graphical horsepower that you will need. Do remember, of course, that you can turn these things off according to the power of your machine. You can turn these things on and off to get more performance if you need it. I think I'm definitely going to stick with Bloom. I think the Bloom looks fantastic. So there you go. That's the good news, folks. And a huge thank you to John Parker, also to Spidey for the cabs, and everyone who's been sort of contributing to the thread over at Desert Island Fruits. But that the main thanks here go to John Parker, who I know has put a huge amount of effort into this, all painstakingly documented. He's been working so hard on this the last couple of months, and it was so nice as well. You could see that he was saying, you know, I really want to try and get something out in time for Christmas for everyone, which was such a nice thought, and he has managed it as well. So ahead of Christmas here, you know, when we're going into the holidays, you know, hopefully you've got a little bit more free time, a bit more time on your computer, and we now have all of this magnificent new stuff to play in the arcade. So you don't have to listen to me waffling about this, folks. All you need to do is fire up the arcade simulator. It will update itself automatically, and you will then have this new version of the arcade to play in. Got a couple of low-techs there in fantastically modelled cabinets. They do look amazing. But the bigger news for me, I think, is the Barcrest MPU4 cab that we've got. You can see there's the version, I think that one's called the roll top, isn't it? That's got the coin input on the top, you can see there. And that there was also I think there was a speaker in there, if I'm not mistaken, as well. There was a speaker just next to the token slot. And we've got the version without the coin inputs on top as well. I think that one, I want to say that one came first, and that would make sense. I'm not entirely sure, but there you go. That has opened up a whole load of MPU4 era machines for us to play. And as I say, that is available in the arcade for you now. So, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch up with you next time. But for now it is, goodbye.